Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanishalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we will be discussing from the 46th verse of the 18th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The verse, Dharmapalo Narapatihi Satu Samrat Brihatshavaha Sakshat Mahabhagavato Rajarshir Hayamedhayat Kshatrut Shrama Yuto Dino Naivasmat Shapam Arhati. The meaning of this verse is, the Emperor Parikshit is a pious king. He is highly celebrated and is a first-class devotee of the personality of Godhead. He is a saint amongst royalty, and he has performed many horse sacrifices. When such a king is tired and fatigued, being stricken with hunger and thirst, he does not at all deserve to be cursed. These are words spoken by Shamika Rishi on learning from his son that his son had cursed King Emperor Parikshit just because Emperor Parikshit, when he was thirsty and hungry, he came looking for water in Shamika Rishi's ashram. Not finding water, he became upset and he took a dead snake and put it round the shoulder of the Rishi who was sitting in meditation, in trance, and walked away. So the reaction of the son of Shamika Rishi, Shringi, was to become very angry against the king and curse the king to die within 7 days. So here Shamika Rishi is telling, who have you cursed, foolish boy, out of your immaturity? He is particularly telling because that king is emperor of the world, and his qualifications are being mentioned here by Rishi Shamika. He does not at all deserve to be cursed. So what are all the qualifications of this king? Firstly, he is a pious king. He is highly celebrated and he is a first-class devotee of the personality of Godhead. How can such a person be ever cursed by anybody? And that too, what he has done is very, 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 very small mistake. Such a great personality, for a small mistake, has been cursed to die. It is completely wrong on the part of this boy, Shringi, to have cursed the emperor of the world. He is a Rajarshi, saint amongst royalty. He has performed many horse sacrifices, and such horse sacrifices are performed by the king or the emperor for the welfare of the entire state, for the welfare of all citizens. As a duty, a king is supposed to perform sacrifices for the protection, welfare, prosperity of the citizens of the entire kingdom. When such a king is tired, fatigued, thirsty, hungry, he does not at all deserve to be cursed. And what kind of curse is it? To die within 7 days? It's not at all justified to curse such a king. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, after explaining the general codes relating to the royal position and asserting the king can do no wrong and therefore is never to be condemned, because a king has a great responsibility for ruling the kingdom, and ruling the kingdom is no small task. His kingdom is the entire world. Such a responsible king, such a heavy duty he has to perform, and his position is so exalted that in his position, when he is taken responsibility, it is to be considered that such a king can do no wrong, in the sense that even if he does some small mistake, he should never be considered as the object of punishment by anyone. The sage Shamika wanted to say something about Emperor Parikshit specifically. First, he spoke in general about a king who is a responsible king should not be considered to do something wrong for a small mistake. But now, the king who has been cursed is not just a dutiful king. He is the emperor of the world. He is Emperor Parikshit, descendant of the Kuru dynasty, Bharata Vamsha, descendant of the Pandavas. That emperor has been cursed. So what are his specific qualifications? So the specific qualification of Maharaj Parikshit is summarized here by Shamika Rishi. The king, even calculated as a king only, was most celebrated as a ruler who administered the religious principles of the royal order. According to the scriptures, the kings have got specific duties to perform, and they are very clearly elaborated in the scriptures. Kshatriya Dharma, in the Dharma Shastras, there is a clear delineation of Brahmana Dharma, Kshatriya Dharma, Vaishya Dharma, Shudra Dharma, Brahmachari Dharma, Grahastha Dharma, Vanaprastha Dharma, Sannyas Dharma, Stri Dharma, Raja Dharma. Like this, all different duties of different classes of people under different circumstances, in different situations. Apad Dharma, when there are emergencies, what are the duties of different people in an emergency? Everything is delineated very clearly. And if he is a ruler who is a strict follower of those Dharma Shastras, such a ruler is never to be punished, cursed by anyone. In the Shastras, the duties of all castes and orders of society are prescribed. All the qualities of a Kshatriya mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the 18th chapter, the 43rd verse, it is described what are the qualifications by which a Kshatriya functions. And that is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, and Srila Prabhupada says in this purport that Parikshit had all those qualifications which are mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. What are those qualifications mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita? Shauryam, Tejo, Dhritihi, Dakshyam, Yuddhe cha api apalayanam, Danam, Ishvara bhavascha, Kshatram, Karma swabhavajam. So, how many are mentioned? Shauryam, Tejo, Dhritir, Dakshyam, Yuddhe cha api apalayanam, Danam, Ishvara bhava. 7 qualifications are mentioned. And what are those 7 qualifications? The translation in English, first one is heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, leadership. These are the qualities. So, heroism means he is bold and he is like the ideal in leading people, in protecting people. He is the ideal hero. Just like Parikshit Maharaj, how he dealt with Kali Purusha. When he saw Kali Purusha is harming a cow and a bull, immediately he took out his sword and said, "You deserve to be killed. You don't deserve to live." Punishment, capital punishment for harming a cow and a bull, exactly according to Shastra. So, heroism, he displays heroism. Power, he is a very powerful king. He tours his whole kingdom and all the people offer him tributes. He is so powerful. Determination, he is very, very strongly determined to do his duties. Resourcefulness, he is resourceful enough to arrange to provide for all the needs of the people. Courage in battle, when he challenged Kali Purusha could understand that my life is in danger. So Kali Purusha surrendered to Parikshit. Elsewhere it is described, when Parikshit used to tour his kingdom, all the kings simply used to come and pay their tributes without his even challenging them. That was how he was courageous. Generosity, he used to properly give in charity to the deserving, to the Brahmanas. And when he used to perform sacrifices, liberally he used to give charity to the Brahmanas, Dhanam. And leadership, he is the ideal role model for the other people in his conduct. In his conduct, he is the ideal person. So, he leads people by his own example. That's the perfect leader. And people have got confidence in his leadership because they are very nicely protected, they are provided for, they are guided correctly. So, he is the ideal leader. So, such a great devotee, how can he be cursed? So, from all sides, it is admitted by Shamika Rishi that Maharaj Parikshit was cursed most unjustly. Although, for this boy's childish action, in general, the Brahmanas cannot be blamed. But still, Shamika Rishi took responsibility for this act of this brahmachari boy, his own son, who wrongly used the Brahmanical power as a result of which there is the deterioration of all the other orders in the whole world. Because unless the Brahmanas are properly situated, they cannot lead and inspire and guide the other orders of society, the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras. Just like in our body, if the head is in order, brain is in order, all other parts can work properly. But if the brain itself is not in order, even if the other organs are in good condition, they cannot function. So like that, the Brahmanas have to be ideal. Then only the society can function. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.